Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees. Well, doom and gloom hangs over Yankees camp as two major stars for the Yankees. Of course, we already know with Cole and Stanton, but now Garrett Cole hangs in the balance of an MRI test to see possibly if he's going to miss some significant time with hip discomfort in his elbow there. So things not looking pretty for the Yankees. A rash of other injuries just go around as well there, so get you caught up in all that. But again, a little doom and gloom now over waiting on the results of this MRI, which is supposed to be released sometime Monday the 10th. So get into the episode and kind of what the Yankees' backup options are. I mean, it's kind of hard to replace Garrett Cole if he's going to miss a significant amount of time. We kind of went through that last year, but get into the whole thing. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, the podcast, as well as go on YouTube, search for Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and subscribe there as well. So, of course, we've been batting around the whole Stanton issue. We know that with the elbow issue. We had the PRP injection. Looks like didn't really do that much. Then he had a second injection. And now they're kind of, seeing that it's not really getting much better. And Stanton kind of lists it as severe and possibly might have to have surgery, which then it pretty much takes him out for the year. I mean, just the fact of saying the word severe like that, I mean, I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. It looks like Stan is going to be down, unless it's a case where, he's going to have to just rehab and do nothing until like August, which I don't see that happening. So, again, just right now the signal is pointing at least for him to have some sort of procedure. And again, that's probably going to take him out for the entire 2025 season. And then the latest one to get dropped into our laps is, of course, now Garrett Cole after a second outing there where, again, the fastball was good. I mean, it was around 95 on average, and he got it at 97 at some point, but he mentioned how it was all horsepower, no command, and he got cuffed up in 2 2/3 inning, only threw 54 pitches, and it ended up giving 6 earned runs, got knocked around a little bit there. So again, he had the velocity, but didn't have the command. And then again after the game, mentioned that he had discomfort in his elbow, and of course, that sent the alarm bells up. Had an MRI, and it looks like they got the images from the MRI, and they're kind of just sending it around to different specialists right now, and he's going to offer a second opinion on it. But again, similar to Stanton's severe comment there, Cole kind of mentioned he kind of knows what it is already, but he's kind of wants to see what else is out there. So if that's the case, that is also some type of grim news. Usually if the velocity was dead, I would see then maybe TJ would be necessary there. So, and that was the case almost like last year. It was the opposite, where he didn't have command, but he also didn't have velocity, and that's what sent the alarm bell. And luckily it just turned out to be that nerve issue, which just required about 4 or 5 months of rehab and working himself back up to finally rejoin the team there. So not a good start so far for the spring. This has been disastrous for the Yankees with these injuries. Add on DJ LeMahieu on top of that, and even the new lefty reliever they brought in, Tim Mazik. Now his is just a strained oblique, and they feel just really some rest with him. He again shouldn't really miss a significant amount of time, and not that you were counting on Tim Mazik. Again, Tim Hill, who the Yankees re-signed, is going to be your main lefty out of the bullpen. But again, you would like another weapon as well. But of course, again, these injuries going all over the place now. So again, not good news for the Yankees. And they managed last season a good deal. They got off to a great start and were rocking and rolling without Cole, so they could do that. But of course, it's not an easy guy to replace. And right now, it looks like Will Warren, just based on the way he's been throwing the ball so far in the spring, he would be the guy to take Cole's spot if he's not there for opening day or April, which right now it's just looking like that either way. The Stanton one, it's almost like you could almost live without him a little bit, and you kind of did last season. Again, obviously he was phenomenal in the playoffs, but you look at the regular season, it was okay for him, but it wasn't like he was like phenomenal during the regular season. It was phenomenal in the playoffs. Again, he's always going to put up big numbers because, again, he's always going to hit home runs and get your RBIs and stuff like that. But, again, I think the Yankees could live without Stanton. Obviously much tougher to live without Garrett Cole, where pretty much every start he makes, you almost pencil in the win there. And it's just so crucial for that, especially if you're going through a losing streak or something like that, when you have your ace out there who could stop a losing streak there. So, again, blow for the Yankees. And, of course, I got to mention as well, there's, I almost forget about Luis Hill, also going to be out. Which we covered already with the lat injury. So again, just a lot of injuries, for some big key players for the Yankees right now. So not a good start for them. And again, Will Warren's a nice piece. We saw a little of last season. Because again, it'd be okay in spring, but again, that's not someone who could replace Garrett Cole during the regular season. It's less important. Obviously, you're not playing playoff games and stuff like that, so you can manage your way through it. But obviously, if Cole's out for the whole year, or say the TJ word, and he's out for not only this year but a chunk of next year, then obviously that's quite devastating for the Yankees, because again, it's a tough guy to replace, especially once you get into the postseason and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to wait and see what these results get released there. Now, as for Stanton, he kind of attributed to the pain to his changed batting stance. And we did cover this in last offseason. Obviously, he did lose the weight. He said, obviously now that he's getting a little older, he wanted to change the way he's doing things, and he might have just tweaked the way he swings the maybe give him some more bat speed, get through the strike zone quicker. So I think obviously tweaking that seems like what disrupted it and hurt his elbows, which had the problem last season. He was able to play through it, but it carried into the offseason and now to spring training. It's got to a point. Again, it hasn't gone away, and so far, again, PRP injections, and it looks like it's not really getting any better at this point, and here's Stanton calling it severe, so we're just going to have to all hold our breath for this upcoming week and to see what it is. And obviously with Garrett Cole, it's kind of interesting with him, and if you want to put on the conspiracy theory hat a little bit, if you remember at the end of the season, he opted out of the contract, which would put him, if he wants to go to free agency or go out there, then, a team is going to put him under a battery of tests and stuff, especially if he signs like a big 5-6 year deal with some team for a ridiculous amount of money. And then, if you remember, like a day or two later, he opted back into the contract, which was like, you shake your head a little bit. Now, again, playing conspiracy theory a little bit, but one way you could see is that, maybe he knew something could be wrong with his elbow. So if he basically opted out of the Yankee contract, he would lose all that money. And then if he tries to go sign with another team and they give him a really heavy-duty type of physical and he fails, well, now he's SOL. So now he's got no money. So maybe he knew something could be wrong. He opted back into the Yankee contract just so he can make sure he gets that rest of that, because that's all guaranteed money. So even if he goes under the knife, he's still going to get paid anyway there. Whereas if he left the Yankee contract and then went to sign with another team but flunked the physical, well, now he's got nothing. He's completely on the cold. So I'm not saying that's what happened or not, but again, just to throw the conspiracy theory hat on there, that is one interesting angle, because it's just weird that he opted out and then like 2 days later he opted in. It was like, well, yeah, I talked to Cashman, and said we'll work out something down the road, and hopefully that's the case. And again, I think he likes being here. I think he likes being the Yankee ace. He likes being a Yankee and all that stuff. So I'm sure that had something to do with it as well. But it is an interesting angle if you want to look at it that way. And also in Yankee news, and we covered him last year, Art Shalek, again, the oldest Major League Baseball player and oldest Yankee, again known for taking Mickey Mantle's spot briefly when Mantle was sent back down when he came up in 51. Again, I did an episode feature on him both here and mentioned him as well in the YouTube show. Unfortunately, it seemed like he did pass away recently at the age of 100. So Art Shalek, again recognized as at least a year ago, was the oldest living Yankee at the time, but again passing away at age 100. So again, on and off the field, not a lot of good news in Yankee land right now, so all remains to be seen. And again, probably, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, we're going to find out what's going on with Garrett Cole. And he might do what he did last year. Again, maybe flew to the doctor in Los Angeles to get another opinion, so he might make the rounds a little bit. But of all of it, the Stanton one looks like it's not getting any better right now. So if someone's going under the knife first, I would say probably right now it's looking like Stanton. But again, we'll just all cross our fingers for better news. Catch you next time.